Hi, I'm Rebecca Balcárcel with Writers on Writing. Let's talk with Chris Barron, author, poet, and educator. Okay, well, let me ask you about theme. Theme is sort of a squishy word, and sometimes students, well, and I struggle with like being able to say what is a theme. So, could you talk about theme in some of your books? And then, like, did you plan that all along, or did it emerge? And how did you convey that? Help us with theme.
Yeah, no, it's good. I mean, I want to be like, do you? What do you do? I am. When we were saying theme, it reminded me, I was teaching creative writing and I started talking about theme, right? So I was talking about elements of fiction, right? So I was like, plot, character, setting, point of view, conflict, theme, right? And I was like throwing them out there and I'm like, what is theme? And someone raised their hand, they're like, man versus man. And then someone in the back's like, man versus nature. Do you remember?
I do. Yes.
And I was like, oh yeah, those are themes for sure, but not only those things.
No.
So yeah, there's a lot more to it than that. I think for me, I'm thinking of theme all the time. Um, and it's hard. I mean, I think that books, and especially my books, I know like are a little bit maybe they're complex. They have multiple themes, probably
Yes.
too many layers. But I think life is complex with too many layers. And there are multiple themes happening all the time for all of us. And so for me, I think of the main things I like to write about. And I think the things that, so I think this for any writer, but I'll just give you like a quick example and I can answer this multiple bunch of ways. But for me, like growing up, I was always like themes, like big themes in middle grade books, like how do we fit in?
Mhm.
Right. So that's a theme I'm always thinking of because maybe I have middle grade age kids that are getting older now, but I see them struggling with that, or finding their place, or being in a place and moving on from that place. So it's because it's in my face that I'm thinking about that more often. But then books become sub themes of that.
Mm.
So I know, like for myself, I was an athlete and I was in plays and theater. So I always like was between worlds, and I love to write books about kids who are between worlds,
Mm.
boy characters in particular, just because what the life I know, but I think all characters. I always had a lot of friends who were girls or women, and that wasn't always common for me growing up. But whatever, like there are these things that those kinds of sub themes of like how do we fit in, and then
Mhm.
I'm just also a big fan of the very common theme of like the rites of passage, initiation themes. I think are
Yeah.
important.
Coming of
I think being
age.
Jewish too, like right, like the bar mitzvah, that those rites of passage from they ceremoniously bring one thing and quite often mean many other things, and that's such a powerful area to explore.
Yeah. Wow. And your characters really learn some deep personal lessons too, like about identity and about how who they want to be, what kind of person they want to be. Like they get tested. Um,
I like what you're saying. That's true. Like it really is about exploring the big questions and trying to find the answers and realizing that there isn't one answer, or that because if you grow up thinking like question answer, but then as you get older you realize there are many answers to your questions.
yeah.
And I think middle grade is very brave in that way. And sometimes my kids, my little daughter will say like, can you write a funnier book? And I'm like, I want to, but and I try to have some humor and try to be light, but and I think those books are amazing and super important. And then I always put that into my own stories. But I think that there are a time and a place for bigger theme, not bigger, more serious themes,
Hmm.
like fitting in, and they can always be handled with humor, um, but there's just so much there.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.